Hey guys, it's Miss Frizzle. Welcome back to my channel. I recently posted a little short / TikTok about things I wish I knew when I started crocheting about 2 years ago. So I thought I'd make my own long form version of that little short. So tip number 1, which congratulations, you are already doing it if you're watching this video. Tip number 1 is to watch crochet videos. So one of the best things that I think that you can do, even though it's kind of boring, is to think of crochet the same way that you would think of learning any subject in any sort of like school curriculum. You know, when you're teaching a kid how to write, the first thing that you have to do is learn the alphabet. Like, how are you going to know how to write a word if you don't know what each letter is? The same thing works with crochet. So there are several videos, I will show some here and list some in the description, that literally just go through all of the basic stitches. Even if you consider yourself an intermediate crochet artist, if you haven't just done one of these videos and just made all of the stitches, a lot of them are designed around a specific like motif or project that will allow you to try out all the stitches. Do it. It is so helpful. I personally can have a tendency to be apprehensive to forcing myself to learn like this because I want to make something instantly that I can be proud of, but I would have saved myself so much time if I had just watched one of these videos to start with, because I ended up having to do it eventually anyways. So if you're stubborn like me and want to just figure it out on your own, try and swallow your pride for a second and just watch and follow along with one of those videos. It will help so much. My second tip is to get to know as soon as possible how to read crochet charts. Crochet charts, if you don't already know, are essentially a visual diagram of what a pattern looks like. So you can read this diagram once you get to know what each symbol in the diagram means and create whatever garment or object that you're trying to crochet just by looking at the chart. It is like a very condensed version of a pattern. It is significantly easier and it requires a lot less reading to follow a crochet chart than a written pattern. Not that there's anything wrong with written patterns. I have a written pattern of my own that does not come with a crochet chart because I still have not figured out what kind of software people use to make those. However, if you find that when you are following written patterns that they can be a little bit confusing, I would highly recommend the crochet charts. They are the best, and you can print out crochet charts and store them in a pattern binder, and they will take up significantly less space than a written pattern will. Tip number 3 would be to make the same pattern or same garment more than once, especially when you're first starting out. One of the best ways that you can improve as a crochet artist and that you can improve the quality of your work is by remaking patterns that you've already tried before in new colors and practicing them until you are more efficient. In doing this, you will not only just eventually learn how to kind of memorize that pattern, but you will also be able to reach a new standard as far as your quality of work that can then be carried over into following future new patterns. Just because you finished a pattern once and it looks pretty decent and you're done with it, it doesn't mean that you really have taken the information that you've learned from that pattern and had it solidified in your mind. The goal is for you to get to a point where you understand what I call crochet physics, where you don't necessarily need a pattern to be able to have a good guess on how something is made or structured. That's kind of like the ultimate goal for crochet, is to learn how to do it well enough that you can then invent things that essentially don't already exist using your knowledge. It becomes a skill that you can use to express yourself completely freely outside of the confines of somebody else's pattern. But I personally believe in getting smaller wins when you're starting so that you don't get bored and you don't get burnt out, because part of the crochet process, in my opinion, is the serotonin boost that you get from finishing something. I think that's going to be my last tip, is when you are starting out, in order to follow along with that same idea of having like regular, easy to achieve wins under your belt to sort of like help you gain the patience that you need to do projects that take a lot longer, is to use bulky yarn and bulky needles and find projects that follow patterns or to find video tutorials that use the same yarn. Starting out using bigger needles and bulkier yarn not only makes it easier to identify when you've messed up or be able to physically see the stitches, it also works up way faster. So there's sort of this, since you're going to be slower as you're first starting out, it can feel like it takes an eternity to finish any sort of project, but if you use big bulky yarn, you can easily finish most of your projects within one day. All right, that basically concludes my tips and tricks for beginner crochet artists. If you liked this video, if this video was helpful for you, let me know in the comments. It really helps me to know what works for you guys. And lastly, if you would like to purchase my Polka-Stripe jumper pattern, it is very beginner friendly. It is very customizable. It is specifically designed to be flattering on chunkier, cute little bodies. I mean, chunkier, cute, medium bodies like mine. However, it's just a super versatile jumper that has sizes all the way from extra small to 4 or 5 XL. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love all of you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and the best of luck on your crochet journey if I don't see you again. Bye!